Note: the following video depicts a specific configuration of the tablet. The same removal and replacement procedures apply to all configurations of the tablet. Before you begin, remove the display cover. Removal. Remove the shielding that covers the system board. Important: make careful note of which battery cable is soldered to each of the contact points on the system board. Carefully unsolder the battery cables from the contact points on the system board. Caution: to avoid shorting the battery, do not allow the battery leads to make contact with one another. Peel back the tape that secures the lower speaker cable to the battery. Remove the lower speaker cable from the routing channel next to the battery. Important: make careful note of the placement of the battery for later replacement. Warning: to avoid personal injury and damage to the product, use extreme care not to puncture, twist, or crack the battery. A puncture or rupture of the battery internally can cause a short with the battery bursting into flames. Using a flat-bladed tool, carefully separate the battery from the adhesive that secures it to the display panel assembly and remove. Replacement. Warning: to avoid personal injury and damage to the product, use extreme care not to puncture, twist, or crack the battery. A puncture or rupture of the battery internally can cause a short with the battery bursting into flames. Note: if the battery is not new or does not contain an adhesive backing, PSA or pressure-sensitive adhesive should be added. Place the battery into position on the display panel assembly. Press down on the battery to adhere it to the display panel assembly. Route the lower speaker cable through the routing channel next to the battery and replace the tape that secures it to the battery. Remove any remaining solder from the battery contact points on the system board and clean the contact points with an alcohol swab. Solder the battery cables to the contact points on the system board. Important: inspect the solder joints to ensure they have a good connection and that there is no possibility of electrical shorting. Replace the shielding that covers the system board.